From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
OEA's vision of the common good is about us, the district, attempting to singularly solve complex societal realities, such as homelessness, that go far beyond the scope of what public schools can and should do alone.
Right now on the Afternoon Edition, Oakland teachers are out on the picket line as the school district and the union continue their negotiations. Good afternoon, I'm Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Ryan Yamamoto. Teachers in Oakland have been out since before the sun came up on the very first day of their strike against the Oakland Unified School District.
So what do we want? Fair contract. And when do we want it?
The union and the school district failed to reach an agreement on a new contract by midnight last night over better pay and smaller class sizes. Justin Andrews has been out there all morning long as well, talking to teachers, parents, and students. Justin, how's everyone feeling this morning?
Well, you know, obviously it's a lot going on right now. These teachers are pretty frustrated. In fact, they've already gathered here outside of City Hall in Oakland. This is where a rally will be getting underway in about an hour or so. There's already that rally planned, but we've heard from some of these teachers, Liz, who told us that they don't want to even be on the picket lines this morning. But when the district didn't come up with a solid proposal, they say, they didn't have a choice. But one teacher we met, Tara Singh at Redwood Heights Elementary, she told me she's been teaching for 10 years. Well, last night, she and other teachers were waiting for a promised proposal from the district, she says. And teachers say the district didn't come up with one. So that's why we're seeing these signs and hearing these chants outside of more than 80 schools across the district. The district says it has bargained in good faith, and it will continue to in an effort to reach an agreement. The district says OEA wants common good proposals, and they're focused on compensation, which the district says is something that the teachers wanted most. All right, so the district proposed an offer of 13 to 22% for every teacher, depending on experience, and a one-time bonus. The union wants 23% and smaller class sizes, counselors at every school, and better classroom conditions. Teachers tell us students' needs doesn't seem to be the district's priority.
For me, the most frustrating thing has been that the district, in my mind, isn't holding students at the center of, like, we were supposed to negotiate in October and they didn't come to the table until we said that we would strike.
We're going to be out here until we get some real proposals. And then I'll tell you what, we're going to get the TA and we're going to look at it and then we're going to vote on it. And that's going to take some time. And however long that takes, because the kids are the most important thing.
Well, the district says it's pretty upset because they were looking for this deal. They were expecting a deal to come through, but unfortunately it seems like it hasn't. Keep in mind, Oakland Unified teachers are the lowest paid teachers across the Bay Area, and these teachers have been working without a contract since before the pandemic. Liz, Ryan.
All right, thank you very much, Justin. Day one of the strike, that's probably going to last for quite some time. And that's just one of several issues facing the town at the moment, not to mention their latest budget proposal, rent moratorium running out, and much more.
And there's no better time to be joined live by Mayor Sheng Tao. Mayor, let's start off where we just left off, the Oakland teachers strike. Teachers are telling their students they may not see them for the rest of the year. Meanwhile, parents are just scrambling to find care for their kids. Now, we know this is an issue between the teachers union and the district, but what can the city do to support both sides of all this?
Absolutely. You know, putting our kids first is going to be key. And I am in support of making sure that our teachers are getting compensated fairly. And when we talk about teachers, also the administration as well, too, right? They support the teachers that are on campus with our children. I am still very hopeful that both sides will come back to the table to really make an agreement. We all know that, you know, our kids deserve nothing short of a great education. And so from the city side, I will continue to talk to OEA and also continue to have conversations with the city administration superintendent.
And Mayor, you recently submitted your budget to the city and included a hiring freeze and balancing of that budget. From a financial standpoint, what is the biggest challenge facing the city of Oakland?
Well, the biggest challenge facing the city of Oakland is, quite honestly, this is the largest fiscal gap that we have seen, even worse than the 2008 Great Recession. This is a huge gap where we have never seen anything like this in the city. However, the way that my team tackle this is through values. The values of making sure we invest in affordable housing, and values in making sure we invest in families and our young people and our infrastructure as well. And so I am very pleased with being able to close that gap without threatening any layoffs, as we know that it is our city workers who deliver services to bring a stronger quality of life to all Oaklanders.
Yeah, speaking of city services, though, Mayor, Oakland now without both a police chief and soon a fire chief after Chief Reginald Freeman announced his resignation yesterday. How does this announcement factor into your overall budget proposal and view of the city?
Absolutely. It was, it was already a known information that Chief Regiman is going to retire this year. And so we are so sad to be losing the chief. Chief Freeman and I have really had a great relationship and have a great relationship. He's terrific. He wants to move closer to family on the East Coast. And not just that, but as he's retiring, he will be going into the private sector. And so I wish nothing but the best for the chief. He has done great work here in the city of Oakland, including with really uplifting diversity in the fire department as well, too.
And Mayor, as you know, and you already commented on this week, sideshows have grown more than just young people just gathering. Recently, there was video showing an OPD officer getting surrounded after driving through a sideshow. So what can the city actually do about these types of stunts?
Absolutely. And to your point, I will not send my officers, one officer in or two or three or five into a group where there's hundreds of people possibly with guns. And so with that being said, my budget actually invests millions of dollars into ensuring environmental designs. We have to deter the sideshows from happening. And so it's on top of the sting operations that I'm working on with the sheriff's department. But on top of that, we have to actually implement, the environmental designs, the hard concrete environmental designs, so that it is not so friendly for and not so easily to allow for attraction of sideshows. And so I'm glad that under this budget that I have just proposed, that we have millions of dollars invested into that.
Yeah, Mayor Tao, I want to talk a little bit about homelessness. And I know this has been a top concern for you and other previous administrations in the city of Oakland. You're in the final stages of removing that Wood Street encampment, but you also announced that you're eliminating that homelessness administrator position, instead allocating that to 2 lower level positions. I'm curious what your thought process is on that and what this means with how the city is responding to homelessness.
Sure, absolutely. So it's been very difficult for many years now to actually fill that position. So breaking that position into 2 positions will obviously allow for more services to be had, but not just that, it allows for more coordination within the city too. As many people know and can understand that when we clear an encampment, there's so many different departments that come into play, whether it be OPD or Public Works, and working with the county, working with nonprofits. And so we need to have these positions in order to be effective. And so what we have learned, and remember, Wood Street was the largest encampment in the city of Oakland. And we are right now, we have actually cleaned up and cleared the encampment completely, where every single resident has now been offered and or given shelter somewhere else, safe shelter, dignified shelter. And so there is a recipe that works to this. And so this is part of that. Is to make sure that we're more effective and more efficient with the dollars that we have, because we only have minimal dollars.
Well, Mayor Tao, thank you for joining us. As your city is facing a lot of challenges, hopefully finding some of those solutions. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you for having me.
And now to the latest on that deadly stabbing in Davis. Police say they have a person of interest in custody after 2 people were killed and another was injured. Davis police confirmed the man matches the suspect's description. He was detained a block away from Sycamore Park. Police received a call last night that might just crack this case.
They were being a little bit sneaky, I would say. And my first thought was, wow, this guy could be scoping out the school. And that is very scary.
Police are still unsure whether the stabbings are related, and the Sacramento Police Department will have more details today at 2 p.m. We will have the very latest on what they had to say. That's coming up on our 3 o'clock show.